Hello and welcome to the channel again. This was an unplanned video to do. Yesterday I was in at the hospital, had that further operation. I'll go into a couple of details about that soon. But the reason I've decided to do this is following on from my introduction part 2. I was discussing it with my daughter yesterday while we were waiting for me to be released. And she said, I've got everything written down. Because she'd been updating my brothers the whole time I was in hospital, she still had all the messages. So she went home and she wrote it all out on several sheets of paper in the order in which things happened, and took photos of it and sent it to me. So I thought, this is a bit more accurate and also goes into a couple more details that I didn't know about. So you'll have to excuse me, I'll have the glasses on for most of the time to read it off the phone. But some of the stuff I'll have mentioned, but other stuff, like I say, there is more information. So first thing, Monday 5th of January 26th, first surgery. The mass was removed, the appendix was removed, into HDU after surgery, doing well, didn't think I'd be there long, no stoma. Next one was Wednesday the 7th. Moved to general surgery recovery ward, doing well, started to get unwell on the Thursday, so the 8th onwards. So Saturday the 10th, taken for emergency surgery due to newly sealed bowel leaking and infection. Surgery was 7.5 hours long. They were unable to complete the surgery. My oxygen levels dropped basically to zero. My heart didn't stop, but my body stopped taking oxygen in. So I was basically dead. Was sedated, put into ICU with the vacuum to hold together the wound and keep clean. Heavy sedation due to being I like this, due to me being a chancer, according to one of the nurses. And that was her words, because I was pulling the tubes out, or trying to pull the tubes out when I was awake. The stoma was done in that surgery. Stayed sedated until Monday the 12th, slightly awakened to check neuroactivity and TPN bag, so the food bag was started. I was very uncomfortable with the ventilator, so I had to be resedated again until strong enough for surgery. So then we're on Tuesday 13th, taken for surgery but unable to close due to swelling and infection. The wound was cleaned and revacuumed, and I was still sedated. 14th, taken off the ventilator and sedation, tired and sore, high temperature but in good spirits. Thursday 15th, taken for surgery, still too swollen and infected to close, washed out, revacuumed. Friday 16th, morphine lightened enough to stay awake for a bit, started texting people asking them to smuggle in apple juice, not allowed. Still on TPN, moved to HDU at 10 p.m. ish. So there's nothing from the weekend. Monday the 19th, taken for surgery and partially zipped up. Doctor explained it would be a slow process due to swelling and multiple surgeries needed. I was allowed apple juice, and she's even put woohoo there. Wednesday the 21st, more surgery, cleaned and more partial zip. Got ketamine for bad pain, but didn't take well to it. Yeah, I do remember taking the ketamine and just saying to them, no, I can't have that. So I was back over at the morphine, but also on a stronger dose. Friday 23rd, CT scan showed small leak from bowel, high red blood cell count. Small leak should heal itself, can't do surgery until a bit better. Sunday 25th, another partial closure and clean. Only 4 centimetres left to be closed of the wound. Wednesday 28th, fully closed. Thursday 29th, moved to the ward. Now she's written 207, I'm pretty sure it was 206. I could be the one who's wrong there. Doing well, still on TPN and juice only. Saturday 31st of January, starting to introduce food again, still on TPN, starting physio. Tuesday the 3rd, now this had to be probably the best day I had there, and it was a therapist visit. It was a little beagle called Molly. She was 8 years old, and lifted her up onto the bed because I couldn't get down to see her. And there's photos of me. Now, I'd had a really bad day, just with the stress of everything. And there's photos of Molly on the bed getting cuddles from me and the biggest smile on my face. It was just amazing. And I was eating a bit more. Now we're on to our last page of notes. So Thursday the 5th of February, infection to wound, cleaned and antibiotics. Started drain, put in to release the infection. Went for a scoot around in a wheelchair. Unplugged from TPN but not managing much food. Another leak from a wound and drain added. Threatened with feeding tube, but my daughter asked them to try ensures first. I discussed that. I remember that bit. Managing it on the Friday 13th, managing 3 ensures a day and some food, down to 1 antibiotic, infection improving. Thursday the 19th, home time, with a big smiley face. So it was good. I mean, we had a bit of a laugh while we were sitting waiting for release yesterday. I was held for bloody hours because they wouldn't let me go until they got the results of the blood test. So, I don't know why. The blood test came back fine. So it was 3.5, 4 hours of extra sitting waiting for no reason. But anyway, I went in yesterday, and we discussed previously when I met the surgical team that it was just going to be a local anaesthetic, flush out, cauterise, as I'd said. When I got to the hospital yesterday, I met the anaesthetist, and he said, no, we're going with general. Oh, okay, maybe I'd misheard. I don't know. So fine, went through everything with him, had a laugh, and he actually commented, having read my notes of what I'd been through, that he was amazed to see me looking so healthy. And then I actually met with my surgeon, and she said, yeah, we've decided we're going to do a general, and that way I can have a good rake around, to figure out exactly what's going wrong. And she said they're starting to think it was maybe the gauze, because there was so much swelling and everything. I was kept open because we couldn't get everything back inside. They'd used a gauze to kind of stitch my body into and to pull together. So she says, I think it may be that. And I said, well, is it like hard? And she says, yeah. I said, is it white? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, funnily enough, the day before on the Monday when the bags were getting changed by the nurse, there was a bit of white plasticky type stuff sticking out through a bit of over granulation. I said, so I think you may be right, that may be it. So that's what it turns out it was. So this bit of gauze that had been used in the operation, it wasn't a case of something that was supposed to be removed after the operation, it was part of closing me up. Had somehow come loose or something like that, but it irritated the surface and caused things to break open. So, but like I said, I was out, unconscious, woke up in ward 301. It was there for several hours, had a couple of sandwiches. Sandwiches were alright, shame they couldn't have done that when I was more permanently there. I've got, obviously still got my stoma, but I've just got a big bandage over where they've worked. I've got the nurses tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, just to keep an eye on that wound. I'm supposed to go down every day. So we'll see how it goes. And hopefully that's the end of that. There's been a bit of blood leaking today, but I'll probably find I've done something I shouldn't have. But nothing I'm overly concerned about. I'm sure I can just wait until tomorrow. So, but someone Erin was telling me, like I'd said, I was seeing the maps from my games on the roof. At one point, when she was visiting and I was heavily sedated, but conscious, apparently I was giggling away to myself and telling her how I was playing Farming Simulator, and just started wetting myself with laughter. So she said it was thoroughly entertaining, seeing and listening to some of the things that were coming out of me while I was under such heavy sedation. Hey, that's good. So at least it kept her entertained if she was there for hours at a time, because by the sounds of it, she was. So definitely looked after me. But like I say, this is just a short one, just a wee update for the extra information I've got, and obviously let you know about what happened yesterday. and as promised I will do another one on another video about living with a stoma and some of the issues I've found with it. But if you could like and subscribe and share, as I've said, hopefully I can help someone. If not, it's going to be a good record for me, see how I've come along, and also remind me of several things. But yeah, if it can help someone, fantastic. Alright, take care. Cheers.